Okay. I'd like to call to order the Parks and Recreations Commission meeting for Thursday, September 18th, 2025. Um, Just
Yep.
gavel, right? Okay. So
Attendance.
let's do the roll call, please,
Yep.
Millie?
Commissioner Bartholomew, yes. Commissioner Chacheroni, Commissioner Darty, Commissioner Serrato,
Here.
Commissioner Stratton,
Here.
Commissioner Turner,
Here.
Commissioner Samaro,
Here.
All right, moving along, we're going to go to the acceptance of minutes of May 8th, 2025 and June 12th, 2025.
I'll make a motion to accept both.
I think we. No, we'll need only a motion to accept May, and then we'll make a motion to table June.
Table June. Okay, so,
I'll make a motion to accept the May minutes.
Second.
Commissioner Serrato,
Yes.
Commissioner Stratton,
Yes.
Commissioner Turner,
yes.
Commissioner Samaro,
Yes.
We need to make a motion to table. So I'll make a motion that we table the minutes of June 12th.
Second.
Commissioner Serrato,
Yes.
Commissioner Stratton,
Yes.
Commissioner Turner,
Yes.
Commissioner Samaro,
Yes.
Moving along, this is the public participation part. There will be a 2-hour limit for this meeting unless the majority of the commission members present a vote to extend the allotted time. With public participation, a person may speak for no more than 3 minutes in total on any item appearing on the agenda. Do we have any public that would like to speak on any items currently on the agenda tonight?
Madam Chair, there is nobody online
Okay.
and nobody in the audience.
Seeing there's nobody in the audience and no one online, we will move right along to the commissioner's report. So, Mr. Commissioner, you're all set.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I do not have a report today.
Okay.
The items that we had, I put into the regular agenda part of the package.
Okay. All right. Moving right along, we are going to go to old business. It looks like we have no old business.
That is correct, Madam Chair.
Okay, and then moving along to new business. It looks like our first item on the agenda.
Madam Chair, we will need to read that, that second,
Agenda items
Yep.
must be submitted.
nope, the second part of that.
Okay. The
We're the-
individuals,
Yep.
organizations, groups who has placed an item on the agenda may speak for no more than 5 minutes in total on the items that they have submitted. And it looks like our first item is the request of District 2 City Councilor Candy Merrill Carlson to begin the naming process of the playground at East Park in honor of Gary, is it
Vecchio.
Vecchio?
Vecchio.
Vecchio.
So, Madam Chair, I did not ask the counselor to be here. Technically, this is the formality portion of the request. We are asking for approval from the commission to move forward with the posting of this for input from the neighborhood down near East Park on whether or not they agree with the name change or not. And then we will come back at the next meeting of the commission for approval, and then it would be either approved or denied at that time.
Okay.
Do we need to make a motion to move it forward?
Yes, we would need a motion to move it forward.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to move forward the request of the naming of the playground.
Second.
Commissioner Serrato,
Yes.
Commissioner Stratton,
Yes.
Commissioner Turner,
Yes.
Commissioner Samaro,
Yes.
Commissioner Darty, I heard he's on.
Did you do the minutes?
Yes.
You gonna do the minutes for the June?
Do we have a
I think so. I think we need one more, because I think you were missing, or Aaron was missing and I was missing. I think that's
So there's only three of us.
have three. Yep, can't do it.
Commissioner Dottie's here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Sorry about joining late.
That's okay. We were just saying that we cannot vote on the June minutes because we do not have a quorum. We only have three that attended the June meeting online today.
Oh. Okay.
So we are gonna go ahead and move on to our next item on the agenda, which will be the request of Commissioner Stratton for an update on the Elm Park Playground.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To the Assistant Commissioner, I was just looking for an update on this. I know there's been, I've had a few people who've reached out to me specifically regarding the turf or the surface there that was redone, and just looking for kind of an update of sort of what happened and how that's being addressed.
Sure. So through the chair to the commissioner, in your packages, I did put the article that was available for that. It gives some detail in there of exactly what happened. So what ended up happening is that during construction, the contractor did not put enough of what we call the attenuation product. So there's 3 levels to the system. The top is the wear portion, which is all glued together, and it's about 1 inch to 2 inches thick, and that's what sort of keeps everything in place. Below that is a black rubber product that tends to be somewhere in the range of anywhere from 3.5, 4 inches to 5 inches. And that's the actual attenuation product that you use to soften a blow of a human falling onto the surface of the playground. The third level is your base, which is compacted gravel. It just sits there. That's just so you have a firm base, so nothing moves around. So what ended up happening was that the contractor, as they built out the playground, did not put enough product in to meet the City of Worcester's requirements for fall height. So fall height is the highest point, or whatever the city determines to be the highest point, to the surface. And there are 2 criteria. It's called the HIC and a GMAX. And you need to be below certain numbers on those. We are, as a city, more stringent on that particular issue than the standards and the guidelines are through ASTM, American Testing Organization, and the CPSC. So we are stricter. And so what ended up happening was that the areas did not meet our requirement. And so so the initial test came back, we thought that everything looked good. So we opened up. We opened up actually a month earlier than we thought we were going to, and it met the minimum requirements. Come to find out, when we tested it at the level that we need it tested at for the contract of what we're paying for, what the City of Worcester taxpayers are paying for, it didn't meet the specification. And so we had to go, so we tested it ourselves. We have staff in our office that is able to, we have a testing machine, we're able to do all of this stuff. And so we tested it. We advised the contractor that they didn't meet our specification. The contractor then went out and had it tested as well. They came back with similar numbers. They're never really exact. It depends on the weather and everything else, but they were within the reason or the realm of what you would expect. And they did not meet it either. So because of that, we have now made them, we had to shut the playground down, and we're having them rip out all of the surfacing that they put in, putting in new surfacing throughout the entire site, and then opening, we'll test it and then open it back up. The problem that you have with this piece, there's 2 things. One, it's a means and methods function of the contractor. So it's his means and methods to meet the criteria, not ours. It's up to him how he meets the criteria. That's one. Number two is you can't test until it's all done. So if you mess up, you don't know that until after it's complete. And so that's exactly what happened. It's not my favorite thing, but I'm unwilling to allow the city to not get what they paid for. Tax dollars, are important things to the city and to particularly in parks where we try to use the city's tax dollars to the best possible, results. And that was not the best possible result. So we shut down. We actually put the fencing up on Friday. We shut down on Monday. They're on site ripping through all of that, and we'll probably anticipate that they're going to put the surfacing down if they haven't yet, maybe starting tomorrow. Most likely it's going to be beginning of next week that they'll get the product down, and hopefully we'll be complete by the end of next week is sort of the goal at this point in time. So that was the issue. I'm not happy about it. The contractor knows I'm not happy about it. But we need to do what we need to do to get what we paid for. And I'm unwilling to renege on that. And I was unwilling to accept what they put in because the life expectancy of, we design ours specifically for life expectancy. And if I accept something less, the life expectancy is less. I'm not willing to do that, and I don't want to have to go back there in a shorter period of time and then have to redo the whole thing all over again because I accepted an inferior product, inferior install. Product was fine, install was not correct.
Thank you so much for the explanation, and I think I also appreciate, being a taxpayer and also, having, young kids who play on these surfaces, I agree. I think it's important, and I appreciate that very thorough explanation of it. I think that's all very reasonable to expect to get what we paid for. So thank you to you and to the department for the attention to detail on that, and pushing for the taxpayers.
You're welcome.
I totally 100% agree. I don't think that our money should be wasted, and I think you, over the years, have been a great steward of that. This is not the first time I've heard that a project's had to stop and be redone. It's been a long time since there's been one, but I always know that, Rob, you pay attention to that detail to make sure that our kids get what they need, that our taxpayers get what they need. And I appreciate that, and the staff here, because you guys do a stellar job in that realm, for sure. Commissioner, Commissioner Serrato, sorry, brain fart today. Did you have any questions or comments or anything? How about Commissioner Darby or Commissioner Zamaro?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay.
So with that, I'll make a motion to file this item.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Darty,
Yes.
Commissioner Serrato,
Yes.
Commissioner Stratton,
Yes.
Commissioner Turner,
Yes.
Commissioner Samaro,
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I'm so not used to this. Erin, you need to come back for your gavel. So our next item on the agenda is going to be the request of Commissioner Stratton to update the commission on the works of the Community Preservation Committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wanted to just bring back a report, as many of you have probably already seen. On July 15th, the City Council unanimously approved the funding of the first round of CPA award recommendations from the CPC. That totaled to $4,388,009 awarded to 18 projects across 3 funding categories. For the purposes of this, I'm going to be focused really on the open space and recreation portion of that. There were, I believe, 8 projects. So of the 18, I believe 8 of them fall into this category, and totaled out at $1.8 million of funding. One of those particular items, I wanted to sort of just tip my hat to our Assistant Commissioner, to Rob, on the Great Brook Valley Park Improvement Project, which is the largest funding item in that category. Some really exciting work, and I know that all of us are, I think, really excited to see these projects moving forward. From my position on the CPC, we're hoping to see parks as a regular submitter to this group. We are having our fall funding cycle opening very soon, and so for that, please stay tuned. I will provide additional updates, but there is the CPA newsletter as well that's available through the city as that funding cycle does come up. So we're hoping to see more projects from parks coming there, but it was very exciting to see a number of the different projects coming both from the city and from sort of private individuals looking towards open space, conservation, and recreation.
Awesome. Anyone else have any questions or comments on this item? Okay,
Not hearing any, I will make a motion to file.
all right.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Darty,
Yes.
Commissioner Serrato,
Yes.
Commissioner Stratton,
Yes.
Commissioner Turner,
Yes.
Commissioner Samaro,
Yes.
All right, moving along to the last and final item on the agenda for the night. It is the request of Commissioner myself to discuss the issues at Beaverbrook Park. Oh. Totally surprised.
Both places at once. Good to see you.
That's a good one. So I just wanted to, I sent over an email to the commission about the issues at Beaverbrook Park. It seems that this league that is permitted here is consistently on the spectrum of rule breaking. I think their behaviors have improved, and I'm taking my commissioner's hat off at this time, but as a resident, as the person putting the agenda item on, is how I'm speaking at this moment. This has been an ongoing issue with this league for years. It had gotten so bad during the summer, I ended up having Councilor Hagier put it on the city council agenda. And, putting the council on notice that this is becoming out of pocket and out of hand. And this is not just a parks issue, okay? When it comes to things that are going on with this league. This is not something that the Parks Department can do by themselves. This is not something, and I'll continually say this, this is not something that Rob and his staff, the small amount of staff he has, can do in police. He's not getting the support from the police department. He's not getting the support from the city manager when it comes to this. It's definitely a bigger overall issue in extending beyond. It's the music, it's the drinking, it's the fighting, they're over there playing cards. Like, they bring out card tables and they're out there playing dominoes and cards till 10 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, and there's one security guard, one security guard to police a league of 50, 60 people rolling in all day long. And, it's in the worst place because it's a pocket, a corner where nobody really goes by there that much, unless you go into the Big Y, so, and it's definitely, I'm not blaming the Parks Department, but the Parks Department does need to put in some more, there's too much gray area when it comes to them. That's why I sent over, some rules and regulations and changes I think that need to happen, not within the permitting, so that it's not just this league understands, but other leagues understand this as well. So that's my spiel and my soapbox, and I'm off of it for now.
So to the chair, so we've worked with the league, and you have said it's gotten better. We have instituted a number of pieces for two reasons. One, to identify the timing of the issues. And then two, to work on finding out who is ultimately responsible for the issues. Because I think in some cases it can be two different things, not always, but in some cases it can be two different things. So what we started to do was we started to have the permit holder contact us when he got there, contact us when he left, so that if we got a call from you, or we got a call from another neighbor, or there was a concern, right, we can correlate that with, okay, he was there. We didn't do that until sort of a little bit through the summer. But it's helped us on that end of it, no. And then we would send Park Security over during that time period and see, okay, well, what's going on? Sometimes with Park Security, they see the big white truck coming and everything turns down sometimes, and then all of a sudden everything's nice. So, been working with Park Security to change the dynamic of how they're getting there, right? So maybe they're coming in off of Park Ave, or they're coming in off of the not Mayfield, but the other street that's up one more, right?
May.
Coming in that way, right? And so trying to change that up, and maybe, or coming into the Big Y, and then but going towards the back of Big Y, and coming in along the football field and coming in that way, to try to change things up. Additionally, I have personally on Saturdays gone down there purposefully, and also because I have to go to the grocery store. And I'll go down there both in my city vehicle as well as in my personal vehicle. Again, right? They see a black truck with a blue plate, sort of things sort of go whoop, down a little bit. And to be honest, once we started working with the league, it seemed to get better during that period of time. What it seems to, at least for me, what it seems to be happening is some of it is still happening when that's all happening and people get out of control, and that's still going on. The cheering and all that, it's a softball field. We're not going to control that. We don't want to control that. That's the good stuff. But what I'm seeing, at least in watching our Park Security reports and all of that, it's really it's like right after they're done, and then the guy goes to leave. Is at least some of the stuff that I'm seeing is that, and then there's a whole nother issue up the street towards Park Ave.
Gosh, yes.
That's another whole dynamic that is I was blown away last Friday night. Oh my God. Last Friday night I had to go to a store in that area with the parking lot that's adjacent to the Park Ave. And I heard that coming on May Street, coming off of Lovell. I heard it there. And it was that loud. And it wasn't the park. It's not even close to Beaverbrook. Was dark. This was 9:30 at night. Beaverbrook was dark. There was nobody there. Because I started freaking
This is
out a little
recorded,
bit.
right?
But yeah.
Yes.
And it was crazy. It was loud. It was obnoxious. It blew me away on that end of it. And so there's something there going on that seems to be, people think they can do whatever they want to do there, particularly up the street towards Park Ave. And I think that part of it is also giving the park a bad name because it's not always the park. It's that functionality, or it's the functionality that starts in the park and then moves up that way as well. So we've really looked at that area to focus in on that with park security. We do have instances where we can see that there's been an issue there, and we understand that kind of stuff. So it's one of those things that we're trying to work through with them. We may look to add a little bit more criteria into their permit for next year, and to try to limit the time when they're really permitted for that location. Part of the problem is a lot of the stuff is happening in the street, and we don't have jurisdiction in the street. I also don't have
Exactly.
jurisdiction in the Big Y parking lot.
Exactly.
And that's part of the dynamic, because there are times where I've been there and then I've called park security because the music's not coming from the park. It's coming from the parking lot. And
they
they're
say-
blasting it into the park, and it's going, I can hear it all the way up towards Park Ave if I go to drive out that way in certain circumstances. So there's a component there that I think we're going to work on our side to put more criteria in there about our neighbors and about impact on our neighbors, and that to sort of manage that. And we've done this before. This is not a precedent-setting functionality. We've done this before. We've done this with Little Leagues, who some of them felt like they could park wherever they wanted to park, in front of driveways, in front of fire hydrants, and we've worked with them and told them that. So this is not something that is out of the realm of what we can do on the park side, with some more understanding of what's sort of happening here. And so we're going to go down that road as well to try to address the functionalities that I can really address, which are that they're there because of the park, and that they need to really look at how they affect that neighborhood there. And even though if they're not in the park, well, then maybe as park security, what we'll start doing more so is calling Worcester PD, asking for assistance, doing that kind of stuff when we start seeing that piece of it. So there is sort of a plan that we're working through on that end of it, but Friday night was pretty amazing.
Oh, so, not to talk about Friday night, because I could stand on the table for that one. But, the overall thing, the overarching thing, I think, is the reason I proposed the rule changes is because blanketed all over the city is what I was thinking. Not just for Beaverbrook, like, my situation definitely is a red herring, right? Which is out of the ordinary for most people that live around the park, because I'm squashed between businesses, a park, and a vacant, empty lot. But, it did make me think, I'm not the only person that lives this close to a park, and I'm sure that this is happening with other leagues and things like that. And I want it to be something that these leagues understand, that this is not a right for them to use these parks. This is a privilege, because they're infringing on homeowners that pay taxes and have a right and live around these spaces. And I think it's something that is blurred, and people don't understand that, the use of a park, of any park, is a privilege. It's not a right. I have a right to live in my home. I have a right to live in peace, and enjoy my home in peace. And I feel like these visitors don't respect that. And maybe if it's in black and white for them, I think that this will definitely help them understand a lot more that, you know, you're privileged to be here. And these are rules that you need to follow. They're, you know, something that in the past were kind of known to people or already ingrained in other people. But these days, it seems like it's just, it's getting out of hand. And ultimately, I'm selfish because this is for myself, but it's also for any other residents that live around the parks. You know, that the leagues need to understand, all leagues. It doesn't matter if it's football, baseball, basketball, if it's schools, if it's a private league, everyone needs to understand that, you know, you're next to someone's home. So that's my spiel about that.
So just 1 second, we'll take whatever comment. So I just mentioned to Jeff that I think we could probably do a better job on our end as the commission and as the administration in the event and sports permitting meetings, right? We can look to expand, you know, our discussion or, you know, what our expectations are of that during that meeting for both, right? And so we'll do it for both the sports and the event side of it, and we'll expand that out a little bit. And we'll work on that, you know, getting that ready, because, you know, that's gonna be here quick. But we'll start working on that now to come up with a sort of a description of what we are looking for and what our expectations are, so that nobody can tell us that it's not that, oh, I didn't know. And then we can look at that in that fashion, so that now we have multiple layers, right? No different than the reason why we have that meeting anyway. It's multiple layers of communication. It's the rules and regulations, it's the meeting, and then it's your permit, right? So it's multiple layers, so that when someone says, I knew nothing about that, well, no, you did, because, you know, here's how we communicated that. And if you don't come to the meeting, well, that's not our problem. You still need to send somebody or be there to understand what that is.
I like that. I really do like that. I want to push it a little further, and I don't know how my my fellow commission members are going to feel about this, but I do think that overall, I think you guys need to be a little bit off the hook here, and we as a commission need to start interacting with these leagues so that they know who we are, so that they can feel like they can come to us just like any other citizen can, to, you know, hear them and hear what's going on and see what they need help with. Because I think that that is the biggest disconnect, is that we used to know our neighbors. Heck, we used to know everybody. My kids played soccer with Rob's kids, you know? That's how I met Rob years and years ago, eons ago. Our kids are now in their 20s. You know, and I think that we've gotten bigger as a city, and we don't know our neighbors as well, you know, like we used to. And we don't know, they don't know who we are here on the commission. And I think that we should start interacting within that meeting with these leagues as well. So I'll stop talking now, because I've already taken so long.
So I'll be quick, I do have a comment, and if I heard Rob correctly, when you came down, the music was actually in the parking lot, wasn't in the field. Am I correct? Is that what you said?
So
That
I was down there
particular-
on multiple occasions, and so some of them, there was no music. Some of it was a little bit of music in the park, but it wasn't anything that I would consider loud enough that it sort of extended outward by the regulation, which is 50 feet from the property line. So it wasn't like that. There were a couple of times where the music was coming from the back of a vehicle that's in the big Y parking lot, and that was sort of being broadcast over, and you could hear it all the way up towards Park Ave.
Okay.
So that was an occasion as well. But then there's other occasions where it's not even the park, It's up the street, and it's vibrating down towards the park as well. So there's a multiple group of different things that are happening there. For us, I think we sort of got to get a handle on our world. And I think even with the music coming from the parking lot, right, they're there because of the field.
Correct.
And so I think we can, no different than someone parking in front of a hydrant or in front of a driveway, we have some jurisdiction there that I feel like we can sort of push on that end of it.
So where I'm trying to go with this is you was commented as a commission, when they come in there for their permits, as a commission, maybe one of us speaks up to say, some of the people that are coming, they might be outside the park, but they're there because of what's happening within the park. It's your permit, and we're asking you to help us by saying to these folks, hey, be respectful of the neighborhood, the music's kind of loud. We should, as a commission, to get them off the hook, that we speak up as a commission and say, yeah, we're gonna give you this permit, but help us on this here, and speak with those folks that are playing the music too loud. We can't go 5 houses down, but if it's in the parking lot and it's blaring, I think whoever has the permit should go over and say, hey, look, this is too loud, bring it over so we're just enjoying it, not the whole neighborhood.
You know, the other piece of it too is that there's Big Y there as well. And Big Y's latest nonsense is they don't own that strip of land where they're parking, which they do. As the GIS says, they own that strip. There's only a strip that they don't own, which is back by where their tractor trailers are. There's a strip that's privately owned back there. They're trying to say they don't own where they park right there. So that's Big Y's latest thing. So it becomes, okay, who am I tossing the ball to now? All right, I'm tired of it. I'm not tossing the ball to anyone. But it definitely is something, and this is what I say, is it goes beyond the Parks Department. It's the city manager that now needs to be involved, because this commercial lot owner doesn't want to take a handle on their own lot. And the cops only do so much, but this is actually happening on a private property, and the property owner is right there and won't do anything about it. And you are 100% right. You shouldn't have to police Big Y at all. They should police it themselves, and they're not. And the city has done nothing to make them do that. So it's just, this is why the city manager, this is another reason why I had it brought to the city manager, is because of the mix of things going on, but because there's commercial property owners not dealing with their issues.
If I may, I appreciate everything you're bringing up. I think it's a valid point. And I agree with everything you're saying. Something's got to be done. I like some of the solutions that you presented around adding more criteria, calling increased WPD support, emphasizing at the events and permitting, thank you, meeting, limiting the time I think could be helpful. But if I recall some of the things that were challenges, the vendor leaves, the person who owns the permit, and then, he's blaming the other people. It's not my fault, what am I gonna do about it? If I'm gone, I'm telling people to leave. So that's always gonna be a challenge. But I thought we discussed potentially even moving that particular sports team or league. I thought we talked about moving it to maybe a different location where there's potentially less neighbors, less issues.
So through the chair, we don't really have a place
We
yet.
don't have okay.
Yet. So we're building out Great Brook Valley, Roberto Clemente Field over on the backside of Worcester Housing Authority, which I think once built will be a place that everybody's going to want to go and play.
Oh, that's true.
And
brand new. It's gonna be a
and
beautiful
it'd be a
facility.
much better location, be a brand new field. It will have, amenities. It will have parking that we control. It will have a lot more availability to it that I think maybe someplace that a lot of these that kind of, that some of these groups, the sort of the adult softball are gonna wanna go.
Okay.
But that's not ready yet, and I don't anticipate it's gonna be ready. I'm hoping it's ready for July of next year, but it's not currently ready yet. We'll know more in April on what the schedule is for the reopening of that facility. But it is we've already awarded the bid and the construction, and it's already beginning now. But the plan is to have it pretty much substantially complete in June. But that doesn't really tell me that the grass is gonna be right and everything's all set. So that's gonna be the question mark for us as we sort of move this thing along.
Okay.
And I think the only thing that I want to be mindful
you.
about with that as well, with potentially moving some of these leagues there, is just, the folks who live over Great Brook Valley as well. I want to be mindful of those residents and neighbors also. I don't want to be moving a problem from one place to another to have it continue being a problem.
I totally agree.
I think that with a lot of the sort of, with what you've said with regards to some revisions to the rules, I think will be helpful for this. The sort of sense of ownership as well, of making sure that the people receiving these permits are understanding that, it's their permit on the hook, that they are responsible if people are coming to their games. They kind of have a stake in ownership as well of making sure that their guests, so to speak, are behaving properly. I think that we have a pretty solid plan kind of in place here. I guess the question I would have to the commissioner is, what are you looking for a motion on for this at this time?
I'm looking to consider a rule change to the permitting for leagues in general, sports leagues and events, and not so much event holders, because event holders typically are one day here and there, but just to the sports leagues overall, because that's what I mean.
What change would you be recommending?
I sent them an email. There's something that we can do in December. I just wanted to make sure everybody had them long enough to look at them, digest them, revise them, please. If you think one's needs to be gotten rid of, fine. But I can definitely have him post them in the next meeting, just as some revisions. Assistant Commissioner, could we at least post those just for public consumption and proposal that these are some changes that we'll be making in December to our permitting process? And we just kind of send an email blast out to the ones suggested. And we want to get we'd like to see feedback come back in about these rule changes as well from the leagues as well.
So what I would ask is, Madam Chair, if you could sort of single those out for me and
Sure.
resend them,
Sure.
and then we'll put them on the agenda for the next meeting.
Yep.
So my recommendation would be is to file what you have,
Yes.
and then we'll put those on for the next meeting. We're gonna work on the presentation and all of that, because I think we'll want to, that way it will give us, a review in October, and then maybe a review in November with maybe approval, or if we had to push it to December, then it goes to December. But I think the sooner we get it out as a possible item, I think the better off we are. And then, we can debate it in this forum to say, yes, we agree, no, we don't, or we need to tweak this, tweak that kind of thing. And we can do that in that fashion. But if you could maybe synthesize, there's a lot here.
Oh, God, yeah.
So if you can sort of narrow it down and send it to me in an email for the next agenda, I'll make sure it's on there, and we'll do it that way, I think is the best case. The good thing is we're starting it new. We're starting, we're only September, so we have time. But that time's gonna get eaten up really, really quick. And I don't wanna have to be pushing this into January and February, because that happened last year, and it was a real battle for us trying to get permits out and all of that, so.
And just really quick, Commissioner Samara, did you have any comments you'd like to make?
No, not at this time.
Okay, I just want to make sure we don't forget you. I can definitely do that for you, so,
So I'll make a motion to file.
Second.
Commissioner Doherty,
Yes.
Commissioner Serrato,
Yes.
Commissioner Stratton,
Yes.
Commissioner Turner,
yes.
Commissioner Samaro,
Yes.
All right,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
all righty.
Second.
Who's second?
Second.
Commissioner Doherty,
Yes.
Commissioner Serrato,
Yes.
Commissioner Stratton,
Yes.
Commissioner Turner,
Yes,
Commissioner Samaro.
Yes.
okay, we're adjourned.
How you doing, man?
Andy Serrato.
Brian Doherty. No, I don't think so. I think I've been on the calls where you've been in person.
Yes.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you too.